Hello everyone, this is Ashish and today I'm going to talk about how to crack BARC in civil field. Now you might be knowing that I'm a mechanical engineer, but you might also be knowing that I got selected in BARC in 2017 where I made a lot of friends from other discipline. Now 1 year I was there as trainee scientific officer, 2 months as a scientific officer. In the department I was posted in for 2 months, this guy was also in that department, so as he was a civil engineer, he was an obvious choice to consult to make this video. Now this guy has allowed me to use his identity. Finally someone has revealed his identity. His name is Ranjit and he has agreed to help you guys throughout your process of getting into BARC or throughout your preparation. Okay, now this video was completely guided by him. I talked with him over call and he guided me completely, told me about few of the civil terms. I found out pretty easy compared to other videos because mechanical engineering and civil engineering are very similar, so it's going to be easy for me to explain it to you guys. Now in this video I'm only going to talk about how to crack the written test, and in the next one I'm going to talk about how to crack the interview, because he also mentioned few of the questions that was asked to him and I want to mention that properly in a new video. And also the written test is going to be very important and you need to be fully prepared to crack this written test. Okay, so I'm going to discuss each and every step that you need to follow, how much you need to study, what you need to study, how you need to approach this examination, what strategy you should be having to approach this examination. So there are basically two ways to get into the BARC interview room. Number one, through gate examination, and number two, through BARC written test. For gate examination you need a rank under 250. If you do not have that, then you have to rely on BARC online examination, which is going to be relatively easier than gate examination, because BARC does not care much about your numerical solving ability. It cares much about your concept and your thinking ability, right? Also the interview will be completely independent from your selection process to the interview, like it will be independent from your gate score or it will be independent from your online test score. Now coming to the written test, the pattern I'm going to discuss over here, there's going to be 100 questions. It's going to be online system, 100 question, 3 marks per question, plus 3 if you get it right, minus 1 if you get it wrong, and 0 if you do not attempt it. There will be a virtual calculator present over there, and that's it. The time over here will be 2 hours, which is the major issue. That means you are getting just 120 minutes to solve 100 questions. So you have to be super careful about time and you need to have good amount of speed and accuracy for this examination. Now this is what I tell aspirants to follow generally, the two-phase rule. You are going to attempt the question paper in 2 phases. In first phase you are just going to answer the easy questions, the questions that you just know the answer, the questions in which you do not have to do much calculations, the questions in which you have less chance of making an error. This is the first phase. This is going to be carried out during the first hour. So in the first hour you're going to skim through the questions from question number 1 to question number 100 and just answer the easy questions. Let's say you were able to answer 30 questions. That's good. You have already gotten 90 marks. Now how many marks do you need to ultimately get selected? So generally in civil engineering what happens is you need somewhere around 200 marks. The cutoff is really high because the question level is a little bit low. So you need 200 questions. For that you will need to attempt somewhere around, let's say, 75 to 80 questions. You have to attempt that much questions, alright, because we are all going to make mistakes somewhere or the other. Now that was the first phase. Now coming to the second phase, now you are going to answer the questions that were like you knew the answer, you knew how to solve it, but you knew it's going to take a little bit time. So now you are going to do it because now you have the confidence that you have at least solved the easy questions. So this is how you are going to do. So that is why in the first phase itself, the difficult questions, the lengthy questions, you are going to mark it for review. Exactly like gate, there is a mark for review option over there, so you can do it so that you can catch that question in the second phase. So this is basically the strategy of how you attempt this question paper. Now this is what Ranjit said, and I agree with him completely, that the last few questions are the easiest. That means the question number 90 to question number 100, they are the easiest one and they are kept at the end for some purpose. So you have to reach the end. So go very fast, reach the end, and those questions are theoretical questions. What's good about theoretical questions? You can get the same 3 marks by just investing just like 10 to 20 seconds. That's it. So those questions you have to definitely go through it. Do not skip it. Now I'm going to talk about few of the subjects which are very important for these examinations, because unlike gate examination, there are few subjects which are very important and few subjects you can just neglect. That is how this examination goes. Why? Because no one is going to attempt 100 out of 100 questions. The time is way too less for this, right? So you can skip some subjects which are very less important. Now the important subjects are number one, maths. This is something that is different for civil engineering. Over here maths questions does come, and the good thing is that these questions are very easy. What he said was that you're going to expect somewhere around like 12 to 15 marks questions from mathematics, so you can go through it, and he said that it is going to be very easy. The level is going to be easy for mathematics. Other than that, strength of material and what was that, soils, that is geotech, you are going to get a large number of questions from these two subjects, and they are going to be very easy. Now I definitely need to go through it because I cannot memorize all your subjects. Next, the fourth subject is structures. Expect some questions from trusses from it. Then comes fluid mechanics. Fluid mechanics is easy, but some lengthy questions are going to come. For example, pipe friction questions are going to come. Simple Darcy-Weisbach friction equation. You have to apply that, but it is going to be lengthy, and you have some chances of making calculation mistakes. So mark for review in the first phase, attempt it in the second phase. That's the strategy I would suggest. Some questions from RCC will also be there. Environment, highway, these are important subjects, so definitely go through it. And other than that, steel structures, this is something that he mentioned. Some theoretical questions will be from hinges, bolts, and that's it. Steel structures, just go through it because some questions are going to be coming from that. Now how to study these subjects? Now this examination is going to be more inclined towards ES examination, so definitely go through all the previous year questions of ES, solve the star mark questions again, and give yourself good practice of those kind of short 1 mark questions. You can also go through gate 1 mark question. The question level is going to be similar to that. This will give you a good practice. And that's it. Some of the less important subjects, I have to mention that because you can skip these subjects. You are going to get only like, let's say, 1 or 2 questions from each of these subjects, so you can leave this. These subjects are transportation, survey, and irrigation, so expect less number of questions from these subjects. Now this guy has actually appeared for BARC written test twice, and I have appeared for BARC written test twice, so you are getting over here some solid information, so definitely use it. If I were you, I would be noting down it with a pen and paper. Okay, so that was basically what is the strategy for you to attempt this examination. What are the materials that you should be following? Now let's talk about what you will be doing throughout the day. If you are preparing for this examination, just practice as much as possible. Okay, if you messed up your gate examination, most likely you were lacking in practice, so practice as much as possible. Solve the gate previous year question, star mark. Solve the ES previous year question, star mark. If you have some other question bank of PSUs, go through it. Just give yourself as much practice as necessary, and also make yourself well acquainted with the virtual calculator. If you're not, just have that mouse calculation idea, and you'll be doing good in this examination. Like I said before, you have to score somewhere around 200, but always expect the competition to increase next year. This is just the trend that is going on, so keep that in mind. Attempt as much as possible, as accurately as possible. With this less time and this much amount of questions, definitely you're going to make some mistake or the other that you should accept, but that should be as less as possible. So in the next one, I'm going to talk about how to crack BARC interview. Wanted to make that as a separate video because number one, I wanted to make this video in a very detailed manner, and number two, I want to make that video in a very detailed manner because when I had a conversation with this guy, he explained it to me in a very detailed manner, even explained the questions that was asked to him. He explained the strategy, explained what you need to be studying, and all these things I'm going to be discussing in that one. I'm also going to give you the contact information of that guy in the next video, so stay tuned. I'm going to see all of you in the next one. My contact information is down in the description. I'll see you next time.
Yeah.